Here is your latest African news. Sudan. Sudan's military leader clears the way towards civilian rule. Sudan's top general announced on July 4th that the armed forces will step away from government in a bid to resolve the ongoing political crisis. In a televised speech, coup leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan said the army will make way for a civilian government since last year's coup that the UN and other regional blocs have tried to broker a way out. The announcement came after 5 days of peaceful sit-ins by pro-democracy groups. Burhan promised to dissolve the ruling council but did not specify any dates or who will replace the military at the negotiating table. Egypt. Suez Canal announces record $7 billion profit in the year 2021 to 2022. The Suez Canal on July 4th announced a record profit of $7 billion for the 2021 to 2022 fiscal year, after repeatedly raising transit fees for ships through the crucial passage for world trade. Between July 2021 and June 2022, some 1.3 billion tons of cargo transited through the canal, providing a $7 billion rent in transit fees, the highest in its history. Osama Rabi, chairman of the Suez Canal Authority, in a statement said that this is an increase of 20.7% compared to the previous financial year of $5.5 billion. Egypt, caught between inflation of over 15% and a recent devaluation of the pound by nearly 20%, had increased transit fees, particularly for oil and gas ships, by 6% in February and then by 5 to 10% in March. The Suez Canal handles about 10% of the world's maritime trade and is one of Cairo's main sources of foreign currency. Despite the Russian-Ukraine war, the rise in oil price which has affected shipping, the canal recorded its highest monthly turnover in April, valued at $605 million. Ethiopia. Prime Minister Abiy accuses rebels of new massacre in Oromia. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has accused Oromo fighters, who last year allied with Tigray rebels, of carrying out a new massacre of civilians in a restrictive area in the far west of the country and vowed to wipe out the group. Abiy said on July 4th that the Oromo Liberation Army, which is designated a terrorist organization by Addis Ababa, is inflicting damage on people as its fighters fled an offensive by security forces in western Oromia. The Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, a state-affiliated independent body, said it was alarmed by the reports and called on an urgent reinforcement of government security forces to prevent further civilian deaths. It said in a statement that government security forces were reported to have reached the area, but the residents continued to seek shelter elsewhere. Tanzania. Tanzania to start paying prisoners for manual labor. Authorities in Tanzania have said plans are underway for correction facilities in the country to start paying inmates for prison labor such as farming and construction. The Commissioner General of Tanzania's Prison Service, General Suleiman Mzee, said the wage will help boost the inmates' financial status after they have served their sentence. The head of prisons said oftentimes inmates go back to committing crimes once released from correction facilities because the environment which fueled the criminal acts remains unchanged. He thus urged society not to judge prisoners but instead help them reintegrate into the community. Uganda. Uganda makes Kiswahili mandatory in schools. Uganda has adopted the resolution by the East African Community to make Kiswahili an official language for the bloc alongside English. The Ugandan cabinet on July 4th nodded to the implementation of the directive made during the 21st EAC Extraordinary Summit in Dar es Salaam in February 2021. During the summit, heads of state amended Article 137 of the bloc's treaty to introduce the lingua franca as an alternative language for transacting EAC's official business. Consequently, the government of President Yoweri Museveni has recommended compulsory teaching of Kiswahili in primary and secondary schools in Uganda. Kiswahili, the language of Swahili people, is spoken by more than 200 million people around the world. In February this year, the African Union adopted Kiswahili as one of its official working languages, 3 months after the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization (UNESCO) designated July 7th as World Kiswahili Language Day. Diaspora. Rihanna named America's youngest self-made female billionaire. Rihanna is now the youngest self-made female billionaire in the US, knocking Kim Kardashian to second place. The Bajan superstar has accumulated a net worth of $1.4 billion at the age of 34 through her own music and entrepreneurial ventures. The singer and Fenty Beauty CEO recently graced Forbes' annual list of America's richest self-made women for the third time in a row. She ranks 21st overall and is the list's only billionaire under the age of 40. Rihanna's $1.4 billion net worth is from her successful music career, while most of it is from her 3 retail companies, Fenty Beauty, Fenty Skin, and Savage Fenty. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, share, and like our video. It's the best way of supporting us. And remember, Africa is watching.